Hey, welcome back to the Group Project Podcast. This is episode number 106. I have, I'm going to call him a good friend at this point. We have talked a number of times. It's Adam Lane. Adam Lane from Haines City, Florida. Haines City High School in Central Florida. Adam, leading Lane, welcome, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, Dr. Smith. It's good to see you. I was actually sitting here reading my favorite book. Look at this. The Learning Curve, huh?
Yeah,
Jared
yes.
Smith.
Thanks, man. Yes, I tell you what, Adam and I have connected on a couple different things. I've been on his podcast. He's coming back on mine. We've talked some speaking stuff, some consulting stuff before. He's got my book. I appreciate it. But dude, I want to learn about you a little bit today. I was looking at your website, leadinglane.com, and you're doing some cool stuff there, man. I'm just going to read your short bio here real quick. Adam Lane has worked in K through 12 public education since 1995, 13 of the years at the high school level, 8 years at the middle school level, and even 1 year at the elementary level. We might have to talk about that. Currently, he's the high school principal at Haines City High School in Central Florida. And listen to this. He's got 2,900 students, 230 staff members, and 5 assistant principals. Dude, that is a massive high school.
Hey, it's larger now.
How many?
I'm over 3,000 students right now, and I have an additional AP. So I have 6 assistant principals, 5 discipline deans, 142 teachers, and altogether we have 247 staff members.
Wow. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there, dude. I just want to say I think that would easily be the largest high school or school in the state of Iowa. Where does that rank in Florida? Is that one of the bigger high schools, or is there just a ton of massive high schools down there?
I'm in Polk County, Florida. It's our largest high school in Polk County. And I would say it is definitely one of the largest probably in the state, but there's a few counties that'll have that size of a school.
So and you're such an outgoing, personable guy. How do you get a chance to know your students and know your staff? What are some tips, man?
To be out and about. And I always meet with my administrators and all of my support team in that 30 minutes before school, that 30 minutes at lunch, the 7 minutes between class, in that 30 minutes at the end of the day. You cannot be caught in your office. You need to be out and about. You need to building relationships, giving fist bumps, high fives, talking to students, talking to teachers, talking to staff. Be out and about. And how easy is it to always be in our office with emails and phone calls? Sure. And I get it. It's reality and it's always there, but you got to put it down and get out and build relationships, because that's how you move a school.
That's awesome. Talking about moving schools, man, I read some of the data in your time at Haines City High School. And I don't know if this is over the past 6 or 7 years, but your discipline referrals have gone down almost 50%, and your graduation rate has improved by over 20%. So how have you done those two things? Maybe talk about discipline. How have you reduced discipline referrals so much?
Oh, it's exciting stuff. And yeah, Jared, this is my 7th consecutive year at Haines City High School. And when I came in, we had a great staff, great teachers, great kids, just an awesome place. But the discipline referrals were high, very high in school suspensions, out of school suspensions. You walk the halls, you look in classrooms, it's like, well, where is everybody? Well, they're suspended. They're out for 10 days. And then, you come back for a few, you get in trouble again, you make bad decisions around another 10. So we really focused on relationship building. And, teachers come out of college and they're very knowledgeable. They know how to teach. They know how to do lesson plans, but they might not be the best at building relationships, especially under pressure with a classroom of 25 and all the conflicts that can go. You think you're good at relationship building, but we all get heated. And sometimes we're not de-escalators. Sometimes we're not communicators. Sometimes we're not peacekeepers. Sometimes we're the exact opposite. And before you know it, it's too late. So we really focused on how do you build relationships, be a de-escalator, a peacekeeper, and a communicator. And when we focused on relationship building, students wanted to come to school because they liked their teacher. they ran to the class. When the bell rang, they didn't want to leave the class. And how awesome is that? Hey, our 45-minute period's over. Like, you have to go to your next class now. So we found that focusing on relationships lowered the discipline for referrals right away. In school and out of school went down. And when we did that, we found teacher retention went up, which was awesome. I didn't have to spend my whole summer interviewing and posting and hiring. It was just signing the contract to bring you back. So then we found as the teacher retention went up, grad rate automatically went up. And that was never even our focus. But in the end, in 7 years, we went from 72% grad rate up to 89% without even focusing on making that one of our goals.
Love that. You're right. It all ties together and it all stems back to those relationships. Very, very cool. Hey, you've been in education for what we say, I mean, educational leadership for what did we say? Since 95 in education. But let's go back to, you spent 13 years at the high school level, 8 years middle school level. Let's just talk your administrative career from first year Adam Lane to now. What's been your biggest difference? What's been the biggest change?
I would say it's the ability to make good decisions. When I started out as an assistant principal, I was at Largo High School in Pinellas County, which is over by Clearwater Beach. I was 5 years there as an AP, and now I've been 7 as a principal. And when I came in, I spent too much time trying to justify what decisions to make. And we know how fast things go, the periods, the minutes, the bells, the day. Like, you can't start thinking about a decision on Monday and then you don't make it till Friday. Like, it needs made right now. So I really worked on making the best decision possible, given what I know at that very moment. And how do I seek information to improve that process? And once you have confidence in your decision-making process, you apply it to everything that comes across your desk. And people love it because as a leader, everyone's looking to us to make decisions.
Yeah.
And if we don't make them and you got 245 staff members, you got 245 people going all over the place because you could not make a decision as a leader.
You've got 245 staff. What's your biggest tip for communication?
Mine is to have structure for communication. And I have 6 APs right now. So each assistant principal has approximately 35 to 40 teachers that they're in charge of. An example, one AP might be over my science and my ESE. Another AP might be over my international baccalaureate program, my performing arts, and my visual arts. So what I think our staff loves is there's 6 APs and I'm over them, but those 6 APs run their areas like the mayor of their own city. Mm-hmm. And I tell my staff that AP is your 7-Eleven. I don't care if you need gasoline, a pencil sharpener, windshield wiper fluid. How do I run a field trip? A hot dog, whatever you need, that AP gets paid to take care of you. So the bigger the school, the more frustrating it can get trying to figure out where do I go to do what. So it's really nice when you have one person to go to for everything.
I love that. Okay, next question here, man. You talked about like the 30 minutes before school, the 30 minutes at lunch, you were very, very clear on being visible, being around, being with the kids. What about the rest of your day? What does the rest of your day look like in a building that size?
Well, I start out my day, I arrive at 6 o'clock because at 6:30, we have 42 buses that are gonna unroll, whether you're there or not. Those bus doors are opening and 3,000 kids are coming out. So I try to get there at 6. I look first at my support staff that might be out, especially during these COVID times. We always stress, hey, if you feel sick, you even feel like you're going to become sick, stay at home, text me right away. If you're a staff member, let's just get it in the system for a substitute. If you're a student, we'll send you the work. But when you have that many students on one campus, you can imagine how fast COVID could spread, but it hasn't because of all the precautions we take. So I really like to get there at 6 to look at my staff first. Who's out? Who's here? If they're out, how can we get coverage for them? If we can't get coverage for them, what's the chess game plan to make the coverage? And then we get the kids off the buses, out of the cars. We get them into first period. And then at that time, it's visiting classrooms, talking to parents, meeting with community groups that come by, SAC meetings, you name it. And then once lunch starts, you're out and about. It's fist bumps, high fives. How's your day going? What can we do to improve? And I love it. It's great.
Give me a picture. What does lunch look like there? And this is Florida, man. Are you guys outside? I mean, how does this all work? I have no idea what that's like.
Yeah, we have 2 lunches. We have 1,500 kids per lunch.
2 lunches?
2 lunches, 1,500
kids. Oh my God. Okay, keep going.
They have a great time. They eat. It's all healthy. It's no choking, no CPR, no rescue breathing, no nothing. We have 4 lines into our cafeteria. They have a system down. They eat, they get up. We have our lunch packer area that has a big pavilion. We have some vending machines with another picnic table area. So we really put our support staff in a big circle around them and just tell them, you go where you feel safe. Like if you want to go sit at a picnic table and eat a granola bar by yourself, go over there. If you want to join that group over there that's playing their guitar and singing and hanging out, eating a school lunch, go over there too. So we really just like to make sure they're safe and have the options that they want to have.
You've given some great answers, man, in terms of, I just love everything you're saying. This is really good stuff. What do you think is the biggest challenge in your role?
In my role, I would say it's convincing everybody that what you're saying is right, that we're going to follow you. So
yeah,
I'm real big on, I know a lot of first year principals feel that pressure that they got to come in and make all these changes. And I'm the principal and I've got to have all the answers and you're going to listen to me because I'm the principal. We know that's not true. So I really like to take things to vote. So I'll give you 2 quick examples right now we're looking at for next year. We were on a 7 out of 7 bell schedule for 5 years before COVID. Then we went to a block schedule. So the teachers asked me, can we have conversations about next year on, do we go to block? Do we go to straight 7? So I have open forums in our auditorium for kids, parents, teachers. Come talk to me. What do you want to do next year? Right now, they want a hybrid. They want to go straight 7 on a Monday and a Tuesday. They want to go block on Wednesday and Thursday for those science experiments and the long lessons. And then they want to go back to a straight 7 on a Friday. So right now we're looking at how do we come up with a blended schedule with block and straight 7 to make the students and the faculty feel like they're most productive and empowered. And another example we're working on now is dress code. You know, every principal and teacher's nightmare, enforcing dress code. Who's in, who's not? How big's the rip in the jeans? Do we allow tennis shoes and flip flop? So we're having a lot of discussions. And I think that is the easiest now, but it could be the hardest. But you got to remember, you're not the only person on that campus. And whether we're on a bell schedule or a straight 7, I'm good either way. I know the benefits of each, but it's really up to the teachers and the students that get affected the most. So that's why I allow votes to happen and discussions to happen. And I just provide the platform to let them make the decision.
So when you say vote, I love everything you're saying. When you say votes, how are people voting? Is it all staff, all 245? Is it just teaching staff on some of these things? Just give me a few more details.
It's all staff. So, you know, we're in the process of, we're in our 3rd week of having discussions on the bell schedule. We got one more meeting. I like to do about 3 or 4. Some people can't make them all. Some of them are just the faculty. Some of them, the students come in and the faculty asks the students question, the students ask the faculty question. And there are things you just never know. Like when I hear students talk and then I hear the teachers talk, they are amazed by what they say. So with the staff, we do, you know, we just do an email survey link And with the students, we do a QR code that they scan with their phone.
Wow.
And then we compile all the data and look and see what they say.
I totally missed that. You mentioned students. I didn't even think about students. So students for the schedule and the dress code.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. And the QR code. Oh man, I love that. I love exactly what you're saying. Hey, you've talked about some professional practices, the being in the hallways, the being visible, the generating buy-in on decisions. What is maybe one other professional practice that you would highly recommend any other school principal use?
Two that come to mind. Having balance is really big with me. So I always stress with my staff. Number one, I always talked about decision making, which we already talked about. But number two, I asked them to have balance. And we really focus on being structured, but being human. Like, this is a business. People are hired, fired, demoted, promoted. Grades are involved, diplomas are involved, opportunities for your life are involved. Like, this is not just carpet squares and milk with reading Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Like, this is a structured business. And we got to remember that. But we also got to be human. Like, especially, we don't know what's going on in people's lives with taking care of a mom or a dad or kids that are sick or one car in the family. So we really work on that balance. I work on it with my staff. My staff works on it with their students. But not only being structured, but human, we really work on being forthright, but professional. Like, none of us have time to waste. So be really direct, get to the point. I'm not a mind reader. I don't have a crystal ball. Just tell me exactly what we're talking about, but be professional. And we're professionals. We always have plans, success plans to go along with what we feel is an imperfection or something that needs to improve. So it's that box of having good balance when you mentally approach a situation. And it could be a student that's tardy to class. It could be a student that hasn't turned in homework, but are you diving in to figure out why and having a good balanced mind when you make a decision?
Yeah. Earlier, you talked about student relationships. I'm curious, what do you feel like, and maybe besides just staff building relationships with students, what is the biggest number one concern you see with high school students today? The biggest concern with high school students?
The biggest concern I see is they feel a pressure to impress others.
Yeah.
And what we really work on is people with their differences can also be right. What does that look like? What does that sound like? If I'm watching a conversation, you don't need to be anything different than what you are. We can have differences because of our upbringings are different. Our beliefs are different. We all went through different experiences. Be proud of that. Like I give the example, if I'm an English teacher and I teach 25 students a lesson on a poem, and then I say, what was the author's message? I might have 25 different opinions, and that's okay. But I can't tell one they're right and 24 they're wrong. But we're going to dive deep into conversations to let us know what those differences are, and be proud of who you are and how you feel, but explain it to others.
Hey, I'm going to transition into some other, I guess, non-educational leadership questions. But is there anything in this aspect with you gave some great answers, man. I'm really impressed. Anything else that you want to make sure, hey, here's one thing I want other principals to know or keep in mind? Anything else you want to share?
I would say be a great listener, have buy-in, allow opportunities for conversations. And sometimes as a principal, you got to feel like the activities director on a Carnival cruise line. Like, you got to create those unforgettable moments because they just don't happen. And I know now that I've been at Haines City High School 7 years, I've had students now that have graduated, went to college, and came back, and they're teachers on my staff right now. And I know as a principal, there is nothing that warms my heart more than to see a kid that went to college, could have went anywhere in the world, but they had such a great experience at Haines City High School. They're back as a teacher in a classroom trying to give kids the same experience that their teachers gave us. And I have 7 right now that have graduated and come back.
Cool.
And we're working on more.
That's awesome. Hey guys, this is episode number 106 with Adam Lane. Adam is the principal at Haines City High School. And what city are you actually in? Is it in Haines City? Is that a dumb question?
Haines City, Florida, Haines City High School.
Okay, so
it's right in the center between Orlando and Lakeland.
Between Orlando and Lakeland. Let's transition here a little bit. Those of us here in the Midwest would love to be down in Florida right about now, because Adam, outside my window here, it's about 10 degrees. What is one under the radar place we got to check out in Florida? Everybody knows Orlando. Everybody knows Cocoa Beach. Everybody knows Tampa. What's what? Give us one little hidden gem of a place we got to check out in Florida.
You got to check out Clearwater Beach. Clearwater Beach is the place. I went there my senior year after I graduated from college, and I went to Baldwin-Wallace College in Berea, Ohio. I came down to Clearwater Beach. I was going to hang out a week, maybe a month before I went back to Ohio and got serious. I'm still in Florida. It's 26 years later. I'm still on spring break. But it was Clearwater Beach. It was St. Pete. It was Tampa.
Okay.
Dunedin, Florida is another great little town with a bunch of nice breweries and restaurants and just art decor. So it's an awesome area, and I still haven't made it back to Ohio. And I think at this point, I'm not going back.
That's a pretty cool story, man. Hey, you do some consulting, mentoring, presenting. Tell us about this, man. What have you been up to?
Yeah, check out Leading Lane. If you go on the internet, I'm at leadinglane.com. It started out, I presented in Chicago a couple years at the Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports Conference. And Haines City High School is one of 19 high schools in the state of Florida that's a PBIS school. So I presented in Chicago a couple times, got a following there, wanted to know how do you lower referrals and raise grad rate, which led into I'm a member of the Florida Association of School Administrators, and I presented at their conference last year. And then I'm presenting this year. It's at the Orlando Omni. Okay, Dr. Smith, try to put this on your calendar. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
The Orlando Omni.
I like what you're saying.
And it's June 7th through the 9th. And I'm speaking on the 9th at 9:45. And it's all about recruiting, hiring, training, and retaining your staff, building your successful pipeline.
Love it.
I hope you can make it down. But anyway, back to Leading Lane. So I started having all these people emailing and asking, how do you do PBIS and how do you do grad rate and how do we do structures with APs and this and that? So I put together Leading Lane, and it's a website. I've got podcasts on there. I've got informational videos on there. I play the guitar on there. I tell jokes on there. Anytime I go out and speak, I type it up and put it on there, and I do book reviews on there. So I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, but I would love to have you like me, join me, give me some feedback. And if I can do anything for anyone, I'm gonna, because I'm loving what I'm doing and I want to keep it going.
So you talked about, I always ask the book question, what book has made us, the question is, what book has made the greatest impact on your life?
So many, starting with this one right here.
I knew you were going to say that, sucking up to the host.
Hey, it's your show.
Thanks,
I have
man.
to have this book on your show. But seriously, your books is one of the great ones with all the practical things of don't be that boss, donut giveaways. Like there's so many great things in there. But I really like Malcolm Gladwell is one of my favorite authors. And I don't know if you've ever read Tipping Point, but I highly recommend Tipping Point, because how do you get your school to the point where everything you're trying to do tips over and just takes off? Yeah. And you're like, I will remember this day forever because I've been working so hard to get that to work, and it takes off. I
always ask the sneaky, what is one just awesome sneaky good purchase that you've made? Maybe it's on Amazon, maybe just something, some little purchase, maybe under $100 that has just greatly influenced your life, made it better.
Oh, that's a good question. So I would say, oh man, you got me on that one, Dr. Jared. The last purchase I've made is this incense smeller that's in my office.
Tell us about it, man.
I've got an assortment of different aromas that I put in there. So every day of the week, I've got a little bit different smell. So I'm experimenting with that right now.
So it's
but
like
I also
keep going.
I was going to say Spotify. I've got a Spotify account now, which I love. And you and I've talked before. So every day of the week, I start the day with a different greatest hits album. And I go throughout the week, throughout the month on Spotify with the greatest hit. So today was the Cars greatest hits.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've listened to the Cars in a while, but that greatest hits album is phenomenal.
Okay, I feel like we got to talk about some of your music, man. You are a music fanatic. Okay, I always ask, not always, I've recently been asking this question. Adam, you can go to one concert, what would it be?
There are so many.
They got to be alive, by the way. Some people ask me, can it be in the past? Can they be deceased? No, they got to be alive right now.
I'm with you. And there's so many that I could talk about. But I tell you what, if you've never been to a Kiss concert, Kiss, the rock band, and they were in Tampa not too long ago, a couple months ago, and we took family and friends and everybody. But not only the music, but the stage show and the smoke and the lights and the spitting of blood. And, it just goes on. And you and I've talked about Coldplay before, how a band leaves the stage and flies over your head like a bird. And then they're on a stage behind you and you're turning around. Then the confetti comes down and it's like, you just feel like this is it. So I would recommend a Kiss concert if you can see one.
Now, the dumb questions, man. I don't know my rock bands that well. This is going to be a dumb question. Kiss, the members of Kiss, the original members of Kiss, are they still the same? Or is it changed completely? Is that a dumb question? I don't know, man. You can make fun of me.
Hey, that's a good question. So it started out obviously with the original. Then they had a little bit of a change. Then they had the reunion tour where they put all their makeup on and it was back to the original. Then they've had a few changes. And now they're back to the makeup, but it's not the original. So A good question, because it's been a rock and roll drama machine with that band, but most of them are.
That's awesome. Okay, so you gave us your your favorite concert. What is one song that's going to pump you up, man? If you need a pump up song, maybe it's the end of a long day and you're driving home and you're ready for that weekend, or maybe it's you're getting whatever it is. What's your number one pump up song?
Okay, so I have a 45-minute drive each way from my house to the school. So the morning involves a lot of prayer and a lot of worship music, Mercy Me,
nice,
Casting Crowns,
yes,
you name it. But in the evening, it's 80s rock and roll the whole way home. I like to start maybe with some Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, nice.
Fall into some White Snake, Still of the Night. Keep going with some Bon Jovi, maybe. It's My Life.
Playlist. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, man. Hey, you've got the guitars behind you. I know I've got you for 3 more minutes before your wife comes and the dogs are 2 more minutes until your dogs are loose. And you're playing, dude. I'm looking at the videos on your website. You're playing the guitar, you're singing, can you play something for us?
Oh, I would love to. You got time for me?
Do you have time for me? Because I started late. Your wife is coming home. The dogs are going to start barking. Play something for us, man. Take us out of here.
Listen, I appreciate you. And you are the only person in the state of Iowa I know. So that's a great start. But I'll tell you how I got into guitars is obviously I love going to concerts. I love music. It takes me back. It's a connection with high school friends that I still have. But the green guitar on my side here, my staff surprised me with it last year as a present for guiding them through the 2 years of COVID and the challenges. And, it stole my heart. I mean, had the swelling of the teardrops coming out, but they presented it to me. It's a Les Paul electric guitar. It's hornet green, our school colors. It's got the hornet stitched in the strap. I've got guitar picks they put with my name on it. So,
wow.
So they knew
They
how
must
much
love
my
you, man.
Yeah, they knew my love for music, and they wanted me to be the rock star. They got me a guitar. I practiced all summer so I could give them a concert when we came back this year. And I had about 8 songs, A for effort, D plus for quality, somewhere like that. But they motivate me, and I like playing at faculty meetings. And I'm not great, but I'm getting better. It's that growth mindset. Where did you start and where did you go on? But if you want a little bit of a tune, Dr.
Let's hear
Smith,
it, man. I want something. Let's hear this.
My one mentor friend from Iowa, from Florida to Iowa. Let me go with something I know you'll probably know. You ready? Hey, where did we go? Days when the rains came.
Yes.
Down in a hollow, playing a new game. Laughing and a running, hey, skipping and a jumping. In the misty morning fog with our hearts a thumping, and you, my brown-eyed girl, you my brown-eyed girl.
That's good. Okay, you said D plus, whatever it was for your performance. Like, dude, you got, that's some good stuff there, man. That's good stuff. Now, is that okay? Now, dumb question. Is that Van Morrison?
Oh, you nailed it.
Okay. I didn't type in anything. I just knew
I'm gonna give you something a little harder. Let's just play Name That Tune real quick. Okay.
Okay.
If you get this, I'm gonna be shocked.
Oh gosh. Oh,
it's a tough one.
So
you ready? Iron Maiden.
Okay. I don't know my Iron Maiden that well. But
right,
that sounds super familiar. What's the name of the song?
It's Run to the Hills.
Run to the Hills. Okay.
Hey, so here's one you'll know, and we'll end it here. You ready?
Okay. So you told me right before the show, and I'm having a brain fart because I was kind of getting us set up. Did you say Smoke on the Water?
You got it. Smoke
okay.
on the Water, Deep Purple.
Deep Purple. Yes, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that was good stuff. The middle song, the Iron Maiden, I thought that was Pinball Wizard for a minute. But I messed it up. That it definitely wasn't. Who did Pinball Wizard? Was that the Who?
That was the Who. Roger Daltrey.
Dude, I don't know you know your stuff, dude. I am not good at the rock music, but I love hearing that. I love Name That Tune, the trivia, all that stuff. So, hey, dude, I gotta let you go. The wife's gonna be home. Who is she cooking? Who's cooking dinner tonight, or what's for dinner?
I don't know. We're gonna figure that out as soon as we log off.
Nice. What would be one? I didn't ask you. One restaurant. What's one restaurant in Haines City you gotta check out?
Oh, you know what? I'm a lunch packer. I pack my lunch every day for 7 years. I've never been out to eat because I drive into town.
Oh, yeah.
Take care of business, eat my lunch, and then I come back.
Where do you live?
I actually live in Dover, Florida, which is by Plant City.
Plant City. Okay.
And Fred's Market is a place we all go to in Plant City. But if you get over to Clearwater Beach area, Frenchie's on the water, live music, great food, sunset right on the beach. Go to Frenchie's Rockaway if you make it to Clearwater Beach, and I'll meet you there.
Oh gosh. Is there a bunch of places in Clearwater on the beach there that you can go to? gosh, there was one. I used to live in Sarasota. I don't know if I ever told you that. And my buddy, my roommate actually would take his boat up to, oh God, I thought it was at Clearwater Beach. There's a place where you can, now this was 15 years ago, so maybe it's gone. Is there, give me a couple other names of places on the beach there. Can you think of them?
Shepherds.
Shepherds. Is Shepherds still big?
They have knocked it down and built it 17 times bigger. That's how much fun people had there.
Okay. So I never went with my roommate, but he was always like, come on, let's go up to Shepherds on Clearwater Beach. And it's a long ways, a long boat ride for like a 20-foot boat from Sarasota up to Clearwater. So I did not make it, but I've heard good times. So
it is still one of the main spots.
Hey man, I got to let you go. Thank you so much. You rocked it. Literally, you rocked it. I say that all the time and I never met it literally because you like played the guitar there. So Adam Lane is awesome. Check out his website, leadinglane.com. Hire this guy to speak, to talk to your staff. He's willing to come to the Midwest. I know he is because he's nodding his head right now. And keep doing great work, man. Keep doing great things for those kids there at Haines City High School, right, ma'am?
Hey, Dr. Smith, I appreciate you having me on, and congratulations to you and your new superintendent position.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's
I've been following you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Yep, just a couple weeks ago, got named superintendent of the district I grew up in Waterloo, Iowa, which is about an hour from here. So I'm excited. It's a big challenge, big district, but hey, if you can lead, if you can day to day, you got 3,000 students in your midst and you're building relationships with all those kids. I can do that as well. So keep up the great work, and I appreciate the kind words, ma'am.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, man.